Yes, Mom! Agent 1, what is a touch? Physical contact, Mom. Agent 2, what is a good touch? Touches that make you feel alright, Mom. Such as? A high five, a handshake, even a kiss, Mom. Good. Now, Agent 3, what is a bad touch? Touches that make you feel not so good, Mom. Like a slap, a kick, a pinch. And most important, if someone touches your private part. And what do we do when someone gives us a bad touch?
You tell a trusted adult, Mom.
For help, Mom. Tell them, don't do that, Mom. Agent, I see that you understand. Now it's your mission to spread this information. Just remember good touches are okay. And bad touches are not okay. So, Agent, go spread the word. Yes, Mom.
Join us next week on Journey TV as comedian Tamiko Sawyer, also known as Sawyer Boy, shares his journey through COVID-19. Hear how he faced and overcame his most darkest moments and how this life-threatening experience has changed him. Tune in for this powerful story. Journey TV, we share life's truths.
Welcome back. We are here with our team therapist, Philippa Dean, who is going to share her feedback professionally and practically based on us discussing identity with Shakisha Johnson.
Shakisha's story is all too common. I am currently dealing with a client who has similar struggles as Shakisha shared. And one thing that I have observed is that persons who struggle with identity also struggle with other mental health issues, from rejection to insecurity to anxiety as well. I want to speak a little bit about anxiety and insecurity that may come or stem from not knowing who you are connected to or who you are a part of. Anxiety is that feeling of worry. Did I do something that caused this person to not want to be a part of my life? Is there something about me that makes me not good enough? So the sense of worthiness comes in, or the lack thereof. If you find yourself in this situation and you're struggling with your identity, I want to say to you that there is hope. I want to say to you that there is a place where you belong. I want to say to you that there are people who have been where you are. There are persons who can help you get to where you want to be. And even though your biological parent may be absent or not with you, know this, that there are surrogates. There are persons right in your neighborhood. There may be persons in your mentorship groups or programs. There may be persons in your churches. There may be persons in your community. There may be people that you follow on Instagram or Facebook whose lifestyle mimics one that you aspire to have, whose morals seem to be aligned with what you want. I would say reach out to those persons and allow them to be the mother figures, allow them to be the father figures in your life to help you navigate this time in your life.
Thank you so much for that, Philippa. That was very insightful and I'm sure will be very impactful. And thank you for joining us. Until next time, give hope and light to the people around you, but most importantly, don't you forget to give it to yourself.
Journey TV is presented by Ensure, Sign Island, Wildflowers, Dan Brad Limited, and Footprints Journey Blog.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news tonight, the state minister for the public service says no one will be overlooked for promotions. A family homeless after a massive fire destroyed their home. And nightlife is back at the Port Lucaya Marketplace. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news tonight, within 6 weeks of coming to office, the Davis-led administration took on the task to address the backlog of promotions and increments within the civil service. Minister of State for the Public Service, the Honorable Pia Glover-Roll, says that the plan is to strengthen the service by first looking at how it is structured. But the Minister of State also adding that no one will be overlooked as the promotional exercise continues. Shashina Roll-Farquharson reports.
Within 6 weeks of coming to office, the Davis-led administration took on the task to address the backlog of promotions and increments within the civil service. Minister of State for the Public Service, Pia Glover-Roll, says the plan is to strengthen the service by first looking at how it is structured.
Looking at the restructuring of that unit, identifying persons that we're going to ensure that are available and accessible in the unit to do what's necessary to start to build capacity when that starts, and understanding all of the needs of the persons here in Grand Bahama across the service. There are many issues across the service here in Grand Bahama. We want to make sure that our presence is solid so that we're able to start to address those concerns and ameliorate the issues of the civil servants here in Grand Bahama specifically.
She admits that the challenges and concerns from those in the public service varies.
Everybody across the service is looking at long-standing promotions, confirmations, and reclassifications. That is similar to in New Providence, and it translates here as well. So we're looking at persons that would need to be or in line for promotions, maybe would have been superseded. Those persons who are looking to be confirmed into the system after, in some instances, very long tenures, and those persons who are looking for reclassifications.
But the Minister of State also addressing those who believe that they may have been overlooked during the recent promotional exercise.
I say to the many calls, emails, messages, people stopping us on the street, that no one will be overlooked. I say that we have over 20,000 civil servants, so we will have to, of course, look at this department by department, ministry by ministry, but I assure the public servants that they will not be overlooked.
Glover-Roll adds that across the board, ministers are doing their due diligence.
So ministers in all ministries have committed to ensuring that the persons working in their departments, their units, their ministries are not overlooked. We will be seeking to ameliorate any promotional exercises that are backlogged or long-standing. We will be looking at matters of confirmation. We will be looking at reclassifications. Of course, we have to do this in a systemic way because we have such a large number of public servants.
Shashina Roll-Farquharson, ZNS Network News.
In other news, a Grand Bahama family is without a home tonight after a massive fire destroyed their home in the I-95 Pinedale 8 Mile Rock area yesterday. Police say upon arrival, they met a 10-room, split-level, stucco structure home engulfed in flames. Our ZNS News team visited the area today and spoke with a resident who witnessed the ordeal. Romiko Knowles reports.
Around about 11:30, I got a call. I was in Port Lucaya, and someone said to me that my neighbor's house was on fire.
Smoke still smoldering in the air after a home in 8 Mile Rock caught fire and burned to the ground. Video captured by neighbor Ken Russell shows the home engulfed in flames. He describes the terrifying scene.
When I came down, I saw the blaze. I saw the house was in the back. It was on fire. The fire truck was already here. You know, the fire truck was already here trying to out the fire.
Our ZNS News team understands that a woman and several children were on the inside of the home at the time the blaze erupted. Fortunately, they were able to escape to the outside unscathed.
They were distraught, you know what I mean? You know, and they were concerned. Some of the other family members were here, and they were concerned about it, you know. So, you know, I guess they left earlier to try to get settle, while it's still there. They probably went to try to deal with their affairs out of that. But they lost everything in the fire, They lost everything. The firemen told them they couldn't go to get their passports or anything, so they were outside, so they lost everything inside of the fire.
Now, residents living in the area say they tried to help firefighters extinguish the fire by bringing buckets of water. However, their efforts were of no avail as the structure was completely destroyed.
They had to go way down Home Rock to get water, to come back down here, to try put out this fire, and it's a mixed structure, stone and wood, but when the wood, I watched the top part, as soon as that catch, that just disintegrate.
Russell says it took firefighters over 7 hours to extinguish the blaze. He believes that if a working fire hydrant was nearby, parts of the home may have been saved.
By the time they reach back, the fire blazed up again, and it's only one truck they have. One truck for the whole of this island they have, so that's a serious thing, What if it's a fire in West End and a fire in East End? They only have that one truck to deal with.
Now, police say the cause of the fire has yet to be determined and the investigation is continuing. Ramiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
In news from the crime beat, 2 men are wanted by police in Allenstown, Bimini. 39-year-old Maurice Mikel Cartwright, also known as Joe or Miguel, is wanted for attempted murder. Cartwright is an American citizen. He is 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing 230 pounds, with a light brown complexion. He is medium build with brown eyes. His last known address is listed as Kitty's Apartments on Queens Highway, Baileytown, Bimini. The second wanted man is a 33-year-old Duval Anson Cornell Hanna, also known as Val. Hannah is 5 feet 7 inches tall and weighs 250 pounds. Hannah has a light brown complexion, heavy build with dark brown eyes. Hannah's address, Zion Hill Corner in Baileytown, Bimini. If you know the whereabouts of 39-year-old Maurice Mikel Cartwright, also known as Joe or Miguel, and 33-year-old Duval Anson Cornell Hanna, also known as Val, you are urged to contact the Allenstown Police Station in Bimini at telephone number 347-3144. Meanwhile, police on Grand Bahama taking a number of persons into custody during Operation Thunderstorm, an effort to rid the streets of illegal drugs. According to reports on Thursday, November 18th, between the hours of 9:45 a.m. and 2:45 p.m., a team of law enforcement officers consisting of the Drug Enforcement Unit and Bahamas Customs conducted a joint operation in the Nelson Road and Wellington Drive area. Officers armed with a search warrant conducted a search of that home and discovered a quantity of suspected marijuana concealed inside a vehicle at that residence. A male resident was arrested and taken into custody. In a second incident, law enforcement officers, while on East Sunrise Highway, acting on information, intercepted a 2010 silver Nissan Tida vehicle with 3 male occupants. A search of the vehicle revealed a clear plastic bag containing a quantity of suspected marijuana. All 3 males were taken into custody and arrested. Further, officers armed with a search warrant went to the residence of one of the males arrested in Pioneers Loop, where a plastic bag was discovered inside a bedroom that contains a quantity of suspected marijuana. All suspects are expected to be arraigned before the magistrate court early next week. In other news now, it has been a long-standing battle and a court case that has been ongoing for more than a decade. But tonight, good news has been declared as a local church is celebrating a major victory. Pastors of the Jubilee Cathedral hosting a special case dismissed celebration this weekend by holding a motorcade, rally, and church service after winning that court case. Jamila Mizik has the details.
Loved ones and well-wishers gathering at the Grand Bahama International Airport for a welcome home celebration and motorcade in support of senior pastor at Jubilee Cathedral, Bishop Godfrey Williams. Williams and the Jubilee Cathedral family celebrating a major victory after 12 years of battling a court case against him. He says on Tuesday all of the charges were dropped.
No one ever thought that I would have come or been where I'm at today. And so they tried to bring me down. But look, today God has intervened and has set us free. We have no case to answer. Everyone, not just one, not just two, not just three, not just four, but five of the charges was dropped and dismissed. Amen. Oh, glory be to God.
Bishop Williams says moving forward will take some time. However, he's grateful to God for what he calls divine intervention.
I've been sick. My wife has been sick, even in hospital. What she went through as a result of all of this, the pain, the punishment, the pressure, and all of that. It's going to take a while because it's been a while. And you know what it is. You have to walk around every day with a sledgehammer over your head, and you know when it's going to drop. You have a family. They seek to put me out of my home, take the church, take the school, take everything away from me, my car, and put my disabled child on the street. But God.
And he says now that the case has been dismissed, the advancement of God's kingdom can continue.
We could not advance the kingdom. I was at a standstill for many years because didn't know the outcome. And so I just had to stay there. We couldn't build. We could not do the kind of outreach that we used to do. As you know, the Jubilee is known for giving. And that's my life. The Lord told me if I take care of his people, he will take care of me. But there are those who jealous and sought to stop me from helping the people. But it has only just begun.
He's thanking all of those who supported him over his 40 years in ministry and is asking for the community to keep him in prayer.
Pray for me. Pray for me. Just pray for me. And I have forgiven all those who trespass against me, all those who wish me evil, all those who try to destroy my family. I openly forgive them.
Now, Jubilee Cathedral will continue to celebrate the victory in a church service on Sunday. Jamila Missick, ZNS Network News.
The end of the emergency order signaling a new start to the entertainment industry after being on pause for over a year. The marketing and entertainment manager for the Port Lukaya Marketplace says that they're introducing a new lineup of activities that they hope will revive the Marketplace Square as a fun and safe space for everyone to enjoy. The Port Lukaya Marketplace is hoping to revamp its famous entertainment square. The marketplace was once a thriving spot for families to spend time and enjoy countless nights under the open skies. While entertainment and marketing manager Sieska Jones says that they're introducing a new lineup that has something for everyone on every night. On Mondays and Tuesdays, it's all about 24-hour Bahamian music.
So on Tuesday nights is our bingo night. The tickets are $2 each, and we would give a monetary reward, cash prize. On Wednesday night, we introduce our Grown Folks Golden Oldies Night. Now that night is geared toward our more elder persons who would like to come out and enjoy the marketplace. You know, they want to come out and dance and have a good little time away from the younger persons. We love our youngers, but we need to accommodate the older persons as well. That's our night for the T Connection and Marvin Gaye and Percy Sledge and that kind of music. We dance the night away.
And Thursdays are for those that love to carry their own key, as the square will be open for karaoke night.
We set up our projector in the square, and we just have persons that come and they take the mic and they just blast all night. It's been going very well. Friday nights is our talent night, where we welcome the community to come and show us what you have. Maybe you could sing, maybe you could recite a poem, maybe you can dance, maybe you can act, you know. So Friday nights is our talent night. Saturday night is our dance competition. So we have 4 different categories, and of course with the competition, it's by round of applause. So you would bring everybody that you know, bring your family, bring your friends, and you know, that's the new entertainment that we're introducing here to the marketplace.
It has been 1 week now since the nightly curfew has been lifted from the country. Jones says that they are hoping that this will signal more economic activity for the nightlife hub.
So we're expecting to see more persons come out now. For the most part, the entertainment, the new schedule, the hours are from 7 to 11. And now that the curfew has been lifted, the entertainment would still be from 7 to 11. However, the marketplace is still open. We have our restaurants and our bars that are still here that will be going until 2 a.m. now.
However, she emphasizes that safety must still be a priority.
Even though the country is open, we're still in a pandemic. So we must still practice social distancing. We must still wear our mask, and we must be conscious of what's going on around us. Let's be our brother's keeper. Let me wear my mask, you wear your mask, so that we can all be safe.
Stay with us. There's more news right after this break.
On down. Now. Come on down. Now.
Come on down to World Wholesale on Queens Highway in the Bamboo East Complex, opposite Yeager Funeral Home, where we sell the highest quality hurricane impact windows, doors, metal roofs, and hurricane shutters at the best prices you can find. Visit our store Monday to Friday from the hours of 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. to see the quality of our products. Contact us today for a free estimate.
The Ministry of Health is working to ensure the safety of the Bahamian people. Help us minimize the risk that coronavirus poses to citizens, residents, and visitors by following these 5 easy steps. Step 1. Wet your hands with clean water, apply soap and lather for 20 seconds by rubbing them together. Include the top of your hands between your fingers and under your fingernails. Rinse your hands under clean water, then dry them with a paper towel or air dry them. Remember to wash your hands before and after eating, preparing a meal, changing a diaper, or caring for the sick, and always after using the bathroom, touching money, shaking hands, or taking out the trash. Step 2. Cough and sneeze in your elbow or upper sleeve, not in your hands, not in the air. Or you can cover your nose and mouth with a tissue when you cough or sneeze. Put your used tissue in the trash bin when you're finished. Remember to wash your hands with soap and clean water after you cough or sneeze. Also, remember never to spit on the ground, roads, or in open spaces. Step 3. Ensure that raw meat is properly handled and cooked thoroughly. Step 4. Avoid sharing drinking glasses, eating utensils like spoons and forks, or sharing personal items such as toothbrushes and towels. Germs can live on surfaces we touch, so wipe and disinfect surfaces where germs can live, and keep your surroundings clean. Step 5. Avoid close contact with anyone showing symptoms of respiratory illness, such as coughing or sneezing. Should you or anyone you know feel that you have been exposed to the coronavirus, contact the surveillance unit of the Ministry of Health immediately. To reach us, call 502-4776, 502-4790, or 502-4737. We want Bahamians and those that live with and visit us to remain safe from the coronavirus. To do this, we need the help of each and every one of you to follow the simple steps we have shared. Let's stay safe, Bahamas.
So put me together, break me apart again. No doubt about it.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Organizers of girls' mentoring programs on the island weighing in on child abuse issues in the country. The founder of Princess Court Ministries, along with Vessels of Purpose Elite, say young women need guidance now more than ever during these times. Rumiko Knowles has more.
The issue of child abuse and molestation in the country is often kept under wraps out of fear and public humiliation. According to the founder of Princess Court Ministries, Stephanie Burrows, 1 out of every 5 young girls is a victim.
Most of these girls are between 14 to 17. Some of the girls are even disabled. Some girls are from homes with single mothers and homes where a father is not active in the home. And so we find those girls who are being preyed on mostly. And so to have a ministry like this shows that when we see a classroom, maybe of 25 girls, there's about 5 girls in there who have been abused in some way or form.
Burrows says there is a high percentage of women who are victims of abuse and molestation that stem from the home and even the church. She says the Princess Court Ministries is an outlet for young women to turn to for help.
I would tell parents, if you see a child who is starting to get frightened or saying that I don't want to be around these people or I don't want to go to that home, find out what is going on with the child. If she's edgy, if she's getting more rebellious, if she's crying more, find out what is going on, because more than likely someone is bullying her, probably molesting her, abusing her in some way.
Brenna May Cooper of Vessels of Purpose Elite based in East Grand, Bahama, says it takes a village to raise a child, and the need for girls mentoring programs in the country is great.
Importance for these organizations is grave. It's grave. We have to create more avenues for our young people to open up, to talk about what's going on, and to obviously direct them in the direction that would, I like to say, navigate them through the challenges of life. These organizations is a perfect setting for our young people to learn, to grow, to be healthy, and to produce as citizens of this country, and of course, by extension, the world.
As a member of the organization, Cooper says she has encountered several incidents of child abuse.
So as the mentor, we may not be able to prove it, but if we suspect that the girl is experiencing any trauma, any type of abuse, it is our responsibility to report to the relevant officials. And not only to leave it up to the parents to do it. We, of course, would encourage them and all of that, but we need to ensure at the end of the day that it's done. And sometimes that is walking them through with it, hand in hand, side by side.
A leading lady in the Princess Court Ministry, Deborah Pratt, says besides teaching young girls to refrain from sex before marriage, they also teach them about inappropriate touches.
Be it from their father, their godfather, their grandfather, whomever it may be. We talk to them about inappropriate touches, especially at a young age. We start from 5 years old. Princess Court Ministry start from 5 years old. So we talk to them about inappropriate touches, knowing exactly what to identify as an inappropriate touch, and to encourage them to report such issues, such touches that they may feel uncomfortable about.
She encourages parents to refrain from using nicknames such as Cookie when referring to girls' private areas.
Sometimes in teaching them these words, the possible person who may be trying to molest them are calling it such words to make them feel as though this is something that's appropriate, this is something that you can be comfortable about. I just want to touch your cookie, or whatever the case may be. But we share with them the correct terms for their body part.
Ramiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
And now our Jay Philippe has your Friday evening check on sports.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe and welcome to sports. It's Friday, which means a number of athletes and coaches from Grand Bahama will be in action this weekend. Let's start this one with track and field. Rocks Athletics Track Club is in full swing for the upcoming track season. Veteran coach Sandra Lang tells us that our athletes are ready.
They've been coming out here and they've been working pretty hard. I've been watching some of the other clubs and they have been working pretty hard, putting in the work. And so I think we just need some meets, to get them a little bit sharper, to get them, where they need to see where they're at. And so I think there's going to be a meet sometime in December. And so that'll give us a better idea of where they're at and what we need to do to get them to the next level.
Switching gears now with an update in basketball. First, at the high school level, Grand Bahamian standout Ramad Dean, currently playing his high school basketball in Canada at Crestwood Prep, is having a breakout season. The 6'7" small forward in his recent game against Erie Prep tallied 36 points to go along with 17 rebounds. So far, Dean has garnished multiple Division I offers from a number of big schools in the U.S., including the likes of Arizona State, Fordham University, Seton Hall, Ole Miss, Minnesota, Austin Peay, Butler University, Santa Clara, East Carolina, George Mason, Tennessee State, and Southern California, just to name a few. Switching gears now on the college scene, a number of players from Grand Bahama, Bimini, and Abaco expected to see action this weekend. Teammates Bradley Lightburn and Joshua Dames over at Kansas City Community College will take on Missouri State University, West Plains. Edrin Martinborough and his Evangel University team will take on another set of Bahamians in Franklin Petion and Shaquille Butters over at Williams Baptist University. DeAndre Villemere and his undefeated Roman College team will take on the College of New Jersey. Also, Franco Miller Jr. and his FGCU team will match up against Division II Eckwood College on Sunday. And lastly, Ahmad Harvey and his Coastal Carolina squad will be in New Providence next week at the Bahama Division I National Championships. They are expected to take on Jacksonville State, followed by a matchup against Valparaiso. And finally, in sports, Week 11 of the NFL season resumes on Sunday for Michael Strawn and his Indianapolis Colts. They will travel upstate to New York to take on the 6-3 Buffalo Bills. And that's all I have for you on sports on this beautiful Friday evening. I'm Jay Philippe. Be blessed.
Plan to have your Thanksgiving lunch or dinner at Off the Deep Edge Restaurant, Suite number 19 Peel Street. Call 352-1664 or WhatsApp 807-3400 to book your table.
Come on down to World Wholesale on Queens Highway in the Bamboo East Complex, opposite Yeager Funeral Home, where we sell the highest quality hurricane impact windows, doors, metal roofs, and hurricane shutters at the best prices you can find. Visit our store Monday to Friday from the hours of 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. to see the quality of our products. Contact us today for a free estimate.
Almost everyone will become a pedestrian at some point in time in their lives. Whether we're driving or walking, we all have a shared responsibility in knowing and following the rules of the road. Pedestrians should do their part by following traffic signals, using crosswalks or intersection, or by walking facing oncoming traffic if they must be on the road. And just like drivers should not be distracted, the same rule applies for pedestrians. Let us all do our part in making pedestrian safety a priority. After all, it's about creating safer communities. I am WPC 3428 Bean of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, Traffic Division, Grand Bahama.
The King of the North.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Tara Claire, you are our Facebook friend of the day. We thank you so much for your continued support. That's going to do it for us here in the North, but be sure to stay tuned as the Bahamas Tonight continues. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Megan Shepherd. Have a wonderful weekend.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the National Report, big things for Little Island. 2 wanted suspects on the loose. A new cruise ship requirement for youngsters. And a sign of the times, the famous red kettle makes its return. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Super Fast Internet for Less. Best rate, no debate. Sign up today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akash Lopinder. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. The tiny island of Bimini to be the hub for a new marine conservation center spearheaded by one of the largest cruise and shipping companies in the world. Officials say construction of the multi-million-dollar project to begin in just a few weeks. Desmond Saunders leads us off tonight on the groundbreaking ceremony.
MSC Cruises continuing to etch its footprint on Bahamian soil with the proposed construction of its new Marine Conservation Center on Ocean Key set to open next spring. The Marine Reserve site hopes to protect and reverse the decline in corals around the world as global temperatures rise and facilitate research on key marine issues. Chairman of the Executive Committee, MSC Foundation, and Executive Chairman, MSC Cruises, is Pierre Francisco Vargo.
This facility will become the cornerstone for our conservation and restoration efforts. It will host scientists, students, and experts in marine life and ocean health generation. It will also educate visitors to the plight of marine ecosystem and how we can work together to regenerate ocean health for the global good. Our guests will learn about our work and see how we restore the balance between humanity and nature.
Prime Minister of the Bahamas among delegates who took shovels to the ground during the event. He says the project is the kind of initiative that remains a top priority for his government.
Your multi-pronged focus on coral preservation and growth, combined with your facilitation of academic research and public education, are exactly the kind of initiatives that we wish to prioritize as part of our New Day agenda. The mere fact of us traveling here and the fact of being here on a landmass the size of Ocean Key heightens the awareness of the fact that our country is an ocean state. And as I said somewhere before, if we take care of our oceans, they'll take care of us. Although we have only been in office for 8 weeks, my administration has made clear its commitment to developing the blue economy, a term of art as well as science that speaks not only to the potential economic benefits which may be derived from our seas, but also support for the many ecosystems on which our lives and livelihoods so crucially depend.
The Marine Center will consist of a research laboratory, coral nursery tanks, lecture hall, interactive pavilion, and outdoor tanks. Students from the University of Miami and Nova Southeastern University will also conduct coral research. Fresh of his charge to environmentalists at the UN Climate Change Summit in Glasgow, Scotland, Prime Minister Davis hopes this effort could go a long way in addressing key marine environmental issues.
Respect of the coral reefs, which are the main focus of this conservation center, we know that other factors are also at play. Because I'm advised, and we believe, that corals and our seagrass and our mangroves are major carbon sinks. We can prevent damage and degradation in the ways that we navigate shipping lanes, for example. And as you drive this venture forward to what will hopefully be a very successful future, I encourage you to also keep other causes in sight. So, for example, how you navigate the shipping lanes, how we observe strict adherence to regulations concerning waste and pollution. And we could do whatever we possibly can to avoid damaging the seabed and those prized coral reefs every time we lay an anchor in our beautiful aquamarine waters.
Desmond Saunders, ZNS Network News.
Meantime, the country's health minister also on Bimini Thursday to assess operations at that island's only medical facility. As Lloyd Allen tells us, his team is confident that come January, Bimini's schools will start face-to-face learning with an adequately functioning clinic.
I must say that from looking from the outside, there's some work that needs to be done on the exterior.
Those are some of the concerns raised by Minister of Health and Wellness, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, upon his arrival at the Baileytown Community Clinic on Thursday. This includes maintenance-related repairs to the structure's building and roof. Add to that equipment that needs to be replaced along with additional repairs.
Even though there's some work, I feel confident that in the next month we will be able to get the clinic ready to work along with the Ministry of Education to ensure that our school is open. As you're aware, COVID-19 is the concern, and we need to make sure that our students are safe. And so the Bailey Town Clinic will be ready in order for us to be able to implement any COVID protocol should there be any of our kids have a difficulty.
As the health minister toured the island's main health center, he was directed to a kind of hidden gem, a number of outfitted trailers which immediately were recognized as a possible triage for COVID patients.
We are definitely going to incorporate them as part of our triage and our ability to isolate patients who may be COVID positive on Bimini. And we have spoken to the doctor that's on the island and the nurses, and we feel confident in a week or so we will be able to ensure that the trailers are outfitted. In the event that we have a case that we need to isolate, we can isolate them at that particular point. And if we have a case that has difficulty and require to be airlifted, we can hold the patient there in such a time as the air ambulance arrives to Bimini.
Lloyd Allen, ZNS Network News.
Minister of State for Education, the Honorable Zane Lightbourne, telling reporters in Bimini Thursday that schools there will likely open for face-to-face learning following minor upgrades.
There's only two schools on Bimini, a high school and a primary school, and we note some construction, some of the repairs going on there. We want to see those to completion, which it seemed to be on target before the second week in January, which is the opening schedule for schools, for public schools. We are hoping and feeling safe that we would probably call this one as a full face-to-face because of the population. The school size is able to maintain that particular population. And so the parents and teachers are looking forward to students getting back on the school campus. And so the assessment there was pretty straightforward.
Lightbourne also giving us some insight into the various communities still to be assessed.
Well, we're going to take a look at Grand Key. We still have to go to Grand Bahama and Abaco, and also North Andros, North and Central Andros. We also have to go to San Salvador. Now, some of these trips we're going to get assessment from ground teams if we can't make the time for it in terms of scheduling. But generally, the repairs, we are comfortable that the majority of our schools will be open in January or be ready for January.
In other news this evening, Minister of State for the Public Service, the Honorable Pia Glover-Roll, hitting back following her predecessor's response to the previous administration hiring people up to the day of the general election. The current Public Service Minister argues that if former Public Service Minister Brentsa Roll wants to fire back, a good place to start is to provide a plausible explanation for the displacement of more than 2,500 public servants within the 6 months of the FNM coming to office in 2017. That's according to the Department of Statistics. Glover-Roll also cited that 233 persons were employed by the former government this past July, and 85 of them remain unposted pending a status review initiated upon coming to office. She further revealed that the employment of 69 people, mainly Family Islanders, before the September 16th elections is under review due to gross attendance irregularities. That group reportedly excludes those unposted for not being vaccinated. State Minister Glover-Roll declared it was egregious and disgraceful to disseminate employment letters with nowhere for these hires to report to or have them report to agencies that eventually return them to the public service. She maintains that Mr. Roll must answer to these actions as responsible hiring practices call for individuals placed in posts that are needed, complete with established and approved job descriptions, and not rushed for unavailable posts. Still to come, an update on that domestic attack earlier this week and 2 judicial swearing-in ceremonies. We'll be back after this. And remember to tune in to the Morning Edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, at 6:30 and the National Report live at 7 p.m. All right here on the ZNS Network.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Welcome to a world where hope is still loud, where dreams are still relevant, and determination has no substitute. Welcome to a nation where the people are still warm, resilient, and innovative. And Commonwealth Bank is at the center of it all, giving innovation and progress an extra push for more than 60 years. We're here for Bahamians because we are Bahamian. Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking services.
BTC spreading Christmas cheer to everybody whether far or near. Move to the rhythm of Christmas round here.
Did you hear that? Is it Santa?
Bring home BTC Superfast Extreme Internet Bundle for only $99.99 with 157 channels and 150 megabits of speed per second, and your home will be blazing all year long. This Christmas, make it BTC. It's the better choice for you and me. Move to the rhythm of Christmas. Move to the rhythm of BTC.
It's in our name, fried chicken. It's our thing. Others may try, but we have the original. We put the extra in extra crispy. And our spicy secrets in everyone's mouth. So if we want to make the best chicken sandwich, we just need to put our name on it. The Kentucky Chicken Sandwich. An abundant triple breaded filet, premium mayo, and pickles, all on a buttered brioche bun. The best chicken sandwich had to be KFC.
Do you want to travel this holiday season? Don't want to miss out on those blockbuster deals? Well, have you gotten your COVID-19 vaccine yet? Time is running out to travel for the holidays, and the Johnson & Johnson vaccine may be just what you need. It's one and done. Just one jab of this vaccine, and 2 weeks later, you're fully vaccinated and ready to shop. Protect yourself and your loved ones this holiday season. Schedule your vaccine appointment now.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Ray Lothario will spend the holidays behind bars. He's the man at the heart of that viral video showing a woman being assaulted and subsequently ran over by a car on Key West Street. 4 days after the incident, Lothario faced a magistrate. The 32-year-old Jones Heights resident was arraigned on 2 counts of attempted murder and 1 count of exposing a child to grievous harm. He was remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections until February 2022. Meantime, authorities have confirmed that despite reports to the contrary, the female is still alive. She's in critical condition in hospital. Thursday's shooting in Bimini, leaving the island's MP, Obi Welchcombe, seriously concerned about the recent spate of violent crime. As the story goes, 2 men were fighting around 9 a.m. Thursday when one shot the other about the body. The victim now nursing wounds here in New Providence.
Obviously, we all feel very badly about the injury to the young man, but the truth is we have a bigger problem. And the bigger problem is we don't have to have the guns on our streets. There are too many weapons moving about, and we have to do more to protect our borders. It is all well and good to talk about protecting our borders from illegal immigration, but I would prefer us to have an equally strong campaign about keeping weapons off of our streets, out of the hands of individuals who are irresponsible.
Meantime, he reiterated his ministry's intention to address the issue of gender-based violence head-on.
Certainly looking at it, gender violence. We're looking at a number of issues that we believe have been talked about over the many years, but very little done. We're seeing where pieces of legislation should have been completed. We're seeing where legislation was passed and sections of legislation are carried out, particularly as it relates to child abuse. So I intend to, when we next meet in Parliament to discuss the supplementary budget, I intend to speak about those issues and to speak about the new initiatives being taken by my ministry.
And Bimini police are searching for 2 residents they want to question for attempted murder. Take a look at 39-year-old Maurice Michael Cartwright, also known as Joe or Miguel. Police report that the American citizen of Kitty's Apartments on Queens Highway in Baileytown, Bimini, stands at 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighs 230 pounds, with brown eyes, has a light brown complexion, and is medium build. The second suspect, 33-year-old Derval Anson Cornell Hanna of Baileytown, Bimini, known by the alias Val, the Zion Hill Corner resident, weighs 250 pounds, stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, with a heavy build, light brown complexion, and dark brown eyes. Any information that can lead to the arrest of both suspects should be phoned into the Allistown Bimini Police Station at 347-3144, 911, or Family Island Crime Stoppers at 242-300-8476. National Security Minister, the Honorable Wayne Munro, and his technical team met yesterday with BTC CEO Andre Foster to discuss the successful implementation of the Macros Alert System. As widely reported, the Macro Alert System seeks to provide an immediate notification to all cell phone users in the event a child is reported missing. Now, during Thursday's meeting, BTC set out the progress made to date, along with timelines for further work to be completed. The CEO at the time reiterated his company's push to move at light speed to ensure a system is available over their entire network. The minister in return thanked BTC for its cooperation and commitment. Thursday's talks follow Alive sending out its first test message on Wednesday. In other news tonight, Acting Chief Justice Bernard Turner verifying that new technology will supplement the country's judicial system overhaul. Turner was sworn in as Acting Chief Justice by Governor General His Excellency the Most Honorable Sir Cornelius Smith during a brief ceremony at the office of the Governor General on East Bay Street this morning.
A number of changes taking place. We have already introduced our new bail management system, and we continue to move towards exclusive use of the bail management system. So we continue with the training for court staff, for attorneys, and for all of the other participants in bail management, so that early in the new year, when it becomes the exclusive system by which applications for bail can be made, everybody would be in a position to use it effectively. The other changes which are taking place, the digitization in the court system of our records continues apace, as well as the work towards the introduction of our integrated case management system as well.
Justice John Isaacs will act as Court of Appeal President in the absence of Sir Michael Barnett. During his swearing-in ceremony at the office of the Governor General this morning, he admitted that he's adjusting to the changes of a hybrid system.
It has been a bit of an eye-opener because we realize that we are able to be efficient, notwithstanding not being in a brick-and-mortar building. And it shows that there are efficiencies that can be had. For one thing, we roster staff half one week, half the next week. So it's shown that we can be even more efficient.
Appellant Rondino Ferguson, a free man after the Court of Appeal overturned his conviction and sentences on stealing charges. Ferguson, an employee of Bahamas Customs, and another man were charged with 2 counts of stealing by reason of employment. It was alleged that between October 29th and 30th, 2019, Ferguson and his co-accused stole an assortment of nearly $30,000 worth of jewelry from the customs warehouse, the property of John Bull. A week later, on November 6, another stash of jewelry valued at over $20,000 was stolen. Now, while his co-accused entered a plea deal, Ferguson maintained his not guilty plea and went to trial. This past year, he was convicted of 2 counts of stealing by reason of employment and sentenced to 4 years behind bars on each count, which he would serve
all at the same time. That did not sit well with Ferguson, who appealed. After hearing from both sides, the panel allowed his appeal and overturned his sentences after finding, among other things, that the evidence against the appellant could only rise to the level of suspicion and that even high suspicion is not sufficient enough to meet the criminal standard of proof.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Tourism today. Bahamas tourism today.
Four Seasons Ocean Club presents Rosé Paradis Garden, a perfect pairing of wine and food to create a unique experience, all while taking in the beautiful Versailles Gardens. Director of Marketing, Victoria Riley, shares the details on the events with us.
For the Rosé Paradis Garden, we're serving rosé wines, and there's also some bubbles with a small bites that are created by our very expert culinary team. We have invited the creme de la creme from the Bahamas, and our local market, we can't survive without our local market here in the Bahamas. So while this is open for our guests in-house as well, but ultimately we want to create a space, maybe something that is new and exciting for people to come and just sit and enjoy the beautiful Versailles Gardens, which is very historical here in the Bahamas. There are no tickets to purchase because it's actually almost like a little French bistro or cafe. So you would have to make reservations by calling the resort.
For more information on this event or other upcoming events, visit fourseasons.com/Ocean Club. I'm Electa Knowles, and this is Tourism Today.
You watch them grow and make plans for them even before they're old enough to talk. You spend a lifetime of sacrifice to pave the way for their success and create a tomorrow you too can be proud of. Can you tell who is the investor? At Leno, we believe everyone who has ever put a penny aside for a future dream is an investor. If you're new to investing, Leno's financial experts stand ready to design plans based on your goals. Let's sit down and explore the options one-on-one and see how, together, we can make your dreams come true. Whether considering traditional investments like a new home, car, your own business, security in retirement, or your child's college fund, we take the confusion out of the process and make an investor out of you. Call 396-3225 for an appointment. Leno, your bridge to the future.
Everything is changing, and your favorite hardware and home improvement store is getting with the program. We Buy You Sell is rolling out its new online shopping feature. If you go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, it's a quick and easy 3-step process. Step 1, browse the gallery and select your item. Step 2, add to cart. And Step 3, check out. Go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, to shop with us today.
I don't want to lose my vision because of diabetes.
I don't want to lose a foot or a leg.
I don't want kidney failure or nerve damage.
I want to live better.
I want to live a better life.
So I'm taking control of my health. I'm taking control of my diabetes.
I'm taking control of my diabetes.
I'm taking control of diabetes.
I'm taking control of my diabetes.
I'm learning how to manage my diabetes better.
I'm eating healthier meals.
I keep physically active.
I take my medicine.
I get my annual checkups.
It's making a difference.
It's changing my life. I'm living better.
I can do this.
I can do this.
I can do this.
If I can do it, so can you. Start now. Start now.
Start now.
When you wanna save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you wanna look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
a policy with Bahama Health is more than just health insurance. It's about feeling good knowing that your health and wellness is covered. It's about the confidence you feel knowing that your card is accepted by over 50 pharmacies and 400 local doctors. It's about peace of mind, knowing that when you travel, you have comprehensive coverage and our overseas partner is just a phone call away. It's about the security you feel, knowing that you're an important part of the family.
Join the family.
Based on the November 18th COVID dashboard, no one recovered from the virus on Thursday. There is, however, a change in the number of people infected, which climbed by another 15. 13 of the new cases are in New Providence and 1 each on Eleuthera and Andros. That count includes 10 males and 5 females. Total hospitalizations dropping to 25 overnight. 4 of those people on the intensive care unit. Meantime, 472 RT-PCR tests completed yesterday, 4 of them repeats, 2 returning inconclusive results. Local COVID vaccinations hover at nearly 40%. Question is, how much more of the population must be vaccinated to achieve herd immunity? Tackling the question was the Pan American Health Organization's country rep, Dr. Eldona Bosson, guest speaker at the Kiwanis Club of Over the Hill meeting Thursday night.
So we don't know what that target is. I know the number 70% and 80% was bandied about initially, but that was a guesstimate, so to speak. But until we get to herd immunity, we won't actually know what that percentage is. The likelihood is that it's quite high, that it's about 95% or more, based on the other vaccine preventable diseases we know about. What is the timeline for that for the Bahamas? That, again, is hard to say.
She also addressed whether those fully vaccinated should get a booster shot.
For most persons, 2 doses will give you full immunity, or with the Johnson & Johnson, 1 dose will give you full immunity. But we have found, and we're still learning about this virus, we have found that there are some people who do not have a strong immune system. Persons with HIV, with cancer, and other diseases that cause your immune system to be deficient. These persons do not get the same immune response in their body with just 2 doses. They need a 3rd one, or with Johnson & Johnson, a 2nd one, just to get them up to the level of immunity that the rest of us can get up to with 2 doses. So WHO and PAHO, we're recommending a 3rd dose for those people so that they can be fully vaccinated. Why are we not recommending boosters? At this point in time, there's no evidence to suggest that persons who've been fully vaccinated have waning immunity.
Well, at 5, you're exempted from a whole lot of things, but that does not include setting sail on a Disney cruise liner. You see, the award-winning Family Cruise is the first cruise corporation to require proof of vaccination for passengers 5 years and older. The new mandate comes just weeks after the U.S.-based Federal Drug Administration approved use of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine for children between the ages of 5 and 12 years old. Under the new policy, children 4 and under are required to provide a negative COVID-19 test both 3 days and 24 hours before departure. Disney's new policy takes effect January 13th of 2022. You may have seen them outside your local grocery stores already, those iconic red kettles accompanied by a volunteer steadily shaking a bell. A sure sign that the holiday season is here and the Salvation Army's biggest fundraiser has begun. The non-governmental organization officially hosting its Red Kettle kickoff early Friday. The fundraiser's official launch is geared to helping the organization host a number of Christmas initiatives. This year marks the first return of the Red Kettle since the pandemic start. Salvation Army Community Relations Associate Melanie Coakley McKinsey says this year they're targeting an ambitious goal.
You would have understand a lot of persons are still not re-engaged in employment. So only have those that are normally in need, but you also had those that are new in need, basically rebounding, trying to, get back to a new norm. And so there's still assistance that they also need. And so just looking at creative ways to be able to assist them during this time is why the goal is $200,000.
Minister of State for Social Services, the Honorable Lisa Ramming, attended the Red Kettle kickoff. She tells us why it's important for the public to patronize the initiative.
This is the pandemic. A lot of people have lost their jobs, but we still want to give Christmas cheer to those who may not even be able to buy Christmas meals or even afford to buy a toy for their kid. So I want them to collaborate and participate with the Salvation Army by depositing funds into that. And so I'm here also to support their event, their Kettle Kickoff, and I give great thanks to First Caribbean Bank who would have donated generously to this 2021 event.
If there's just one day you set aside to celebrate the men in your life and the contribution they make to society, today is as good a day as any. November 19th marks International Men's Day, that one day that shines the spotlight on the positive value men bring to the world, their families and communities. One of the 6 pillars of International Men's Day is to improve gender equality, not only for men, but women. That push lending to this year's theme, better relations between men and women. Well, as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
COVID-19 attacked our personal and national psyche. We fought back. We adjusted our consciousness so that we could wrap our minds around the impossible and unbelievable things we were going through. But guess what? Nobody escaped. That means there was nobody who was too pretty, too cute, too important, too holy, or too rich to escape the mental trauma and battering of COVID-19. We can allow COVID-19 to destroy us or defeat us, or we can make a decision right now to act in a manner that supports wellness for ourselves and for the nation. So let's act to restore and sustain our personal sense of well-being and our national mental health status. We're all involved. It's that important.
Janae's Chesapeake Road Christmas Wonderland is open under the Big Tent. Get your Christmas trees in pink, frosted, green, or white in a variety of sizes. Musical Christmas LED and laser lights, a large variety of tree ornaments, lighted angels and Santa tree toppers, bright and lively colored Christmas balls in all sizes, garlands, wreaths, tree skirts, stockings, and lots more. Add flowers, picks, and decorative mesh to brighten up your home or office this holiday season. And don't forget the toys at Janae's Chesapeake Road. Check our selections online at www.janae's.com.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Super value and quality supermarkets have all your favorite brands and no limits. Seabass tuna, VAT-free, 5-ounce, 2 for $1.90. Quaker grits, VAT-free, 5 pounds, $3.79. Rainbow evaporated milk, VAT-free, large, 2 for 99 cents. Robin Hood flour, VAT-free, 5.5 pounds, $3.99. 15 VAT-free items in this week's specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
The past is what drives us, but it is no more. In it, we learn valuable lessons about where we came from. The future is what we aspire to, but it is yet to be written. Thinking about it allows us to plan for a better tomorrow. The present is the only thing we possess right now. It is the moment when we rise to the occasion, so that we stand in the beauty and wonder of who we are. Where our strength really matters, because our resilience speaks for itself. We plan for where we are today, a strong company, a powerful network, built by the people, for the people, because we believed in best, because we lived for the moments, and we delivered. You know what we were. And now, you get to see who we are. We are alive.
Do you want to travel this holiday season? Don't want to miss out on those blockbuster deals? Well, have you gotten your COVID-19 vaccine yet? Time is running out to travel for the holidays, and the Johnson & Johnson vaccine may be just what you need. It's one and done. Just one jab of this vaccine, and 2 weeks later, you're fully vaccinated and ready to shop. Protect yourself and your loved ones this holiday season. Schedule your vaccine appointment now.
The doors of the new $17.3 million government complex in Allenstown, Bimini officially opened for business today. The facility bears the name of former Member of Parliament for Bimini, George Wish, who expressed his gratefulness for the government's decision.
My friends, this morning, never in my wildest dream, I thought at that time that today will be a day when I would stand here and listen to my illustrious friends and brothers and being congratulated by friends and families alike on the naming of this building after me. Never in my wildest dream.
Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honourable Philip Davis, brands the new government complex a fulfillment of a dream come true for Bimini.
It is, as I said, the physical manifestation of a democratic ideal that citizens and residents should have access not just to their representative and the formal branches of the government, but also to the essential services which are necessary to do business, keep good order, and provide day-to-day support. You know, it was in 1982, when George Wish became the Member of Parliament for Bimini and the Berry Islands. Along with Loftus Roker, he lobbied the government to purchase this property. They envisioned then that a new government complex should stand here to house the administrator's office, the police station, the post office, and the Bahamas Immigration Department, and other governmental agencies.
Well, local government elections to be held within the next 90 days. Minister of Agriculture, Marine Resources and Family Island Affairs, the Honourable Clay Sweeting, sharing with reporters in Bimini that the exact date will be announced shortly. The process, though, has started, with officials working assiduously to ensure the election process is as transparent and efficient as possible.
So within 90 days, we'll have elections. We'll announce the date shortly. So I want persons in the family alliance to be aware and to be ready. Have already been doing tours, and I visited Andres, Grand Bahama, Eleuthera, and I'll continue my tours to ensure that the local governments understand that we're serious about this. We're serious about local government and transforming it, and to ensure that they feel like they're a part of the national central government, and to ensure that we do it right.
Local government officials are also working closely with Ministry of Health colleagues to ensure COVID-19 protocols are followed.
We want to ensure that elections are safe but also transparent, and to ensure that people feel that as if they've been able to exercise their right to vote, and that everyone is able to do so.
Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makishla. Outside of our studios, we are under cloudy skies, temperature at 77 degrees, a relative humidity 88%. We have north-northwest winds at 6 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,015.7 millibars, that's 30.02 inches, and the pressure is rising. Temperatures around the islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 73 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Greentoil Key in Abaco, Marshall Abaco at 75. 77 in the Berry Islands, Allenstown, Bimini, 78 degrees, 78 in Harbor Island, Rock Sound, Eleuthera, 80 degrees, 79 in Otterstown, Cat Island. Black Point, Exuma, Kemp Space, South Andros, and Fresh Creek and Central Andros, all at 78 degrees. Otterstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rum Key, 79 degrees. Georgetown at 80 degrees. 80s also in Ragged Island, Clarence Sound, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay and Acklands, Matthewtown, Inagua, the warm spot at 83, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 81 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Pink Setter. In the Northwestern Islands, northeast winds 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. That high tide is going to take place at 7:45 this evening. In the Central and Southeastern Islands, northeast to east winds 12 to 18 knots, and the wave heights 3 to 6 feet. Caution flags up for you boaters in the Central and Southeastern Islands. And now, Saturday, tomorrow, the winds become northeast, increasing in speeds 15 to 20 knots, wave heights building 4 to 7 feet. So those caution flags will go up for you boaters in the Northwest Bahamas tomorrow morning. High tide will take place at 8:07 in the morning with a low tide at 2:36 in the afternoon. For the Central and Southeastern Islands, no change there. Northeast to east at 12 to 18, wave heights 3 to 6 feet, holding those caution flags in place. And then as we take you into Sunday for all areas, the winds become northeast to east, 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet. Tide-wise, it's going to be high at 8:44 Sunday morning, low tide at 3:15 in the afternoon. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
You done spend all your money, take her out on a date. She said, give her a call round 7:45. When you dial her number, ring-a-ling-a-ling. She knows it's you, but she just let it ring, but you get swing.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned. The extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
BTC spreading Christmas cheer
To everybody whether far or near.
Move to the rhythm of Christmas round.
Did you hear that? Is it Santa?
Bring home BTC Superfast Extreme Internet Bundle for only $99.99 with 157 channels and 150 megabits of speed per second, and your home will be blazing all year long. This Christmas, make it BTC. It's the better choice for you and me.
Move to the rhythm of Christmas. Move to the rhythm of BTC.
When a hurricane watch or warning is issued, medical emergency services are placed on high alert. For many persons seeking medical care, defining what an emergency is can be difficult to assess given all that is occurring during the storm. The following basic guidelines are designed to help you assess your emergency. If you are experiencing symptoms like shortness of breath, chest pain, severe pain, disorientation, extreme vomiting or diarrhea, vision disturbance or suicidal thoughts, you should seek immediate medical assistance. If you are bleeding significantly or otherwise severely injured, seek emergency assistance immediately. Children presenting with symptoms like high fever and extremely listless or lethargic behavior need to be taken to the emergency room immediately. If you are unsure of the extent of your condition, you are advised to seek medical assistance immediately. Share your symptoms with the on-call doctor and get advice as to whether or not it can wait until normal business hours. Remember, emergency care is not a convenient option for basic medical care during a storm. The Public Hospitals Authority encourages members of the public to use these basic guidelines to help decide on whether something is an emergency or not. The authority reminds the public that in the case of an emergency, always call 919 or head immediately to the emergency room. This message is brought to you by the Public Hospitals Authority and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
PrEP is for people who are HIV negative and are at risk of contracting HIV. When used properly, PrEP can provide a high level of protection against HIV, and it is even more effective when it is combined with condoms and other prevention methods. PrEP has been revolutionary for HIV prevention, but not enough people know about it. It is important to spread the word about PrEP and encourage people to have this conversation with their healthcare provider. For more information about PrEP, contact the Bahamas National AIDS Program at 242-604-9060. Get informed. Make the right choice for you.
New year, new time. Watch Conversations with Christ every Sunday at 10 a.m. And I'll tell you why. Because I recently had someone ask me, they said, Daniel, how do I explain unemployment to my kids? How do I explain that I'm not working and we on welfare, we on government assistance? How do I explain that to my children? And the only thing I could tell them is one word, and that's temporary. Everything is temporary. Because see, when you walk by faith and not by sight, what you understand is that even though you don't see things changing, you don't have to see it, you just know that it's happening. And then he said, but it's been over 2 years. I haven't worked. So how do you explain temporary? And that's when I had to let him know that, hey, to God, one day is like 1,000 years. And 1,000 years is like one day. So don't compare today to forever. And that's what we're going to be talking about. So 10 a.m. Conversations with Christ every Sunday.
This portion of the news brought to you by Genuine Care, keeping you home while you're away. This is ZNS Total Sports.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to your TGIF Look at Sports. I'm Charles Fisher. The Bahamas Olympic Committee naming a 17-member team for the Junior Pan Am Championships November 24th through December 4th will be held in Cali, Colombia. The Bahamas will be represented in 5 disciplines: track and field, Lacathria Cooper, Carlos Brown Jr., Daraj Hudson, Antoine Andrews, Trey Buchanan, Gabriel Curtis, and Kyle Alcyon. The coaches, David Charlton and Kennard Markey. For swimming, Devante Carey, Lamar Taylor, Nigel Forbes, William Russell, Sean Neely, Winishka Gibbs, and Rachel Lundy. Leading the team, head coach, Trevano McPhee. One rower, Brianna Gill, her coach, Carrie-Ann Kulig. Triathlon, Ralph Wood, he will be coached by Cameron Roach. And for wrestling, Chikozi Ijeoma, coach is Clinton Burke. Chef de mission is Clarence Roll. Deputy chef, Rudolph Ferguson.
And after watching some of the athletes in their career so far, I believe that the Bahamas will make a great impression for these first games. We have a rich tradition in sports. For several Olympic Games, for instance, we are recognized as the winners per capita of the games. Now, these games, they don't put such heavy emphasis on medals, on winning. It's about camaraderie. It's about the spirit of the games. It's about getting experience for development. And I know that all those things will be things that our athletes will be able to do well, and we expect great growth from this experience.
More than 3,500 athletes from 41 countries will be taking part. Bahamas Olympic Committee President Romel Fish-Knowles assuring parents that with the pandemic still ongoing, the safety of the athletes will be paramount.
The Bahamas Olympic Committee will spare no expense in making sure that your children receive the best of medical care in the event they contract COVID. Their health is paramount to us, and so that's why we carry our chief medical officer. He's very strict. But we know, too, that he's the best man for the job in the event there is an incident. And I say that with all sincerity because, you know, I have young kids as well. I can imagine the challenge of the COVID environment that we all live in and having our kids go away from home. Some of them have to return to college. So I understand the pressure. Unfortunately, this is the new norm, and I think COVID is going to be with us for a bit.
Team doctor Ricky Davis indicating that the world is somewhat getting back to what it used to be.
Sports in the Bahamas is one of
our getaway. We have a lot of Bahamians that participate in various sports. This Junior Pan Am game is just a start to get back to reality. Unfortunately, we still will have to wear face masks. We still will have to follow the COVID protocols, but we will still be somewhat a little less free, but we will still be prepared.
The inaugural ladies' version of the Battle for Atlantis tips off on Saturday. Vaughn Roberts, Senior Vice President of Government Affairs and Special Projects at the resort, confirming that all safety protocols will be in place.
We have protocols for people coming into the resort. You have to be vaccinated or have a recent negative COVID test, so that will be enforced here as well. And we've enforced that with the teams and guests that are coming in as well. So we pretty much have a good handle on the protocols, and safety is a priority. Well, I think what we're seeing obviously is the vaccination rate improves, and the Bahamas just got re-rated to a level 3 advisory, so that's been very strong, very good news as well. So we've been able to, just because of the history of the tournament, been able to attract high quality, high caliber teams that have large fan bases.
Call them adopted Bahamians. Chris Cameron and his family, they've been coming to our shores for the last 10 years. And he's a basketball fan. He's back again with the tournament tipping off on Saturday.
We were here for Thanksgiving, just my family and I, back in 2011. And I was over at the fitness center, and I was in the locker room, and Andre Drummond, who plays in the NBA now, who went to UConn, they were there working out as a team in the fitness center lifting, and I said, what are you guys? They're 6'10". I said, what are you guys doing here? They said, we're here for this tournament. And I was like, what tournament? I know Maui was going on and stuff, and I was like, and he told me, and I said, okay. So we came down and we saw part of it, and then we watched the rest of it on TV. So then the following year, we said, hey, we need a plan for this because they're going to have a tournament now. So my daughters were in college. We came down for Thanksgiving, went to the tournament, and it became a family tradition where they brought friends and boyfriends, now husbands. We decided to expand it. We don't come just for Thanksgiving. We come for 3 weeks. So we've been here a week already. We usually come right after Veterans Day, and we fly down. We get ready. We get acclimated. We get ready for the tournament. We see everybody we know. And then we stay a week after the tournament.
And he is already booked for 2022.
Once this thing wraps up, and I always, as kind of a kick, I go down and see the bleachers and the court turn, because everybody else is gone. The fans are gone, the teams are gone, everybody's gone from the resort. So my wife and I, we walk down there and we watch everybody tear everything apart and say, okay, see you next year.
And that's a wrap on Sports Friday. I'm Charles Fisher. Enjoy your weekend.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
My name is Camille Barnett, and I'm president of the Bahamas AIDS Foundation. During these difficult times, we have continued to provide support to our clients through a number of initiatives. We provide weekly grocery support and hot meals. Our clients have access to counseling and a food and clothing bank, as well as assistance with clinic visits and medications. Access to our social worker enables clients to get support with job preparation, securing government documents, and negotiating the everyday trials of life. We're also committed to making sure our young people have academic support through the provision of laptops and school supplies, funds for school registration, and national examination fees. The foundation is proud of our Solomon Wellington Adderley Memorial Scholarship, which supports 2 university students. Our foundation and its volunteers work to positively impact the lives of our clients. It is important work that must continue. In order to continue our work, we need your support. You can support the Bahamas AIDS Foundation by visiting our website at www.bahamasaidsfoundation.org and selecting one of the methods for donating, and by participating in our awareness activities, especially as we approach World AIDS Day on December the 1st. I wish to thank all of our supporters and donors over the years. We cannot do what we do without the support of generous members of our community. Thank you.
Hey, John. Before we send you out in the world
we must make sure that your mission is intact. Yes, Mom! Agent 1, what is a touch? Physical contact, Mom. Agent 2, what is a good touch? Touches that make you feel alright, Mom. Such as? A high five, a handshake, even a kiss, Mom. Good. Now, Agent 3, what is a bad touch? Touches that make you feel not so good, Mom. Like a slap, a kick, a pinch. And most important, if someone touches your private part. And what do we do when someone gives us a bad touch? We tell a trusted adult, Mom, for help, Mom. Tell them, don't do that, Mom. Agent, I see that you understand. Now it's your mission to spread this information. Just remember that good touches are okay. And bad touches are not okay. So, Agent, go spread the word. Yes, Mom.
PrEP is for people who are HIV negative and are at risk of contracting HIV. When used properly, PrEP can provide a high level of protection against HIV, and it is even more effective when it is combined with condoms and other prevention methods. PrEP has been revolutionary for HIV prevention, but not enough people know about it. It is important to spread the word about PrEP and encourage people to have this conversation with their healthcare provider. For more information about PrEP, contact the Bahamas National AIDS Program at 242-604-9060. Get informed. Make the right choice for you.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the virtual celebration of the closing of the 26th National Children's Week.
Listen to the children's voice. Voice of laughter, voice of pain. Teach the children tolerance.
Last week, when I paint my house red for Christmas, jealousy was dropping off her face like water off a duck.
If the children are listening
One of the things that the church must be aware of, that this is no time and season for us to get so deep and holy that we can't hail folk who hurting next to us. We can't hail the people in our neighborhood. We can't see how hungry they are. We can't get too deep, brothers and sisters, and so anointed that we forget that if someone hurt you, you gotta forgive them.
Sundays at 8:30 a.m. on ZNS TV 13.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, with 11 days remaining in the tropical cyclone season, we have no tropical systems to report to you this evening. However, in the northwest Bahamas, we do have some pre-frontal activity that's creating some showers around the Bimini, Grand Bahama, and Abaco area. Much of those showers are being advected towards the north and east, so the bulk of those showers will remain in the extreme northwest Bahamas. Our forecast for tonight calls for partly cloudy conditions, a low temperature just around 73 degrees. And tomorrow, we're looking at mostly cloudy with a couple of showers, particularly during the morning as a weak frontal system moves through the area practically unnoticed. 82 degrees will be a high temperature, and extended weather forecast. A little wet tomorrow morning, and things will improve a bit in the afternoon with some residual showers lurking around on Sunday. However, come Monday night, late, we expect a second but rather strong cold front to push through, and that will see temperatures dropping into the mid-60s around Tuesday and the middle part of this week. So take those sweaters out, dust them out. You're going to really need them over the next several days. Daytime temperatures, they're going to be in the mid-70s during the daytime once that frontal system goes through, and we will see us turn to much more sunny conditions on Tuesday. Makishla.
Well, thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. And as we celebrate our 44th year of television broadcasting, it feels great to be your home. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching, and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Sometimes, when you're living a fabulous life like I do, you've just got to take a break and make time to take care of your own mind, body, and soul so they can be at their most fabulous. In today's episode, I'm going to show you how I took a few days just for myself, just to make sure that my mind, body, and soul were fit and fabulous. We'll start in an unusual and ancient place where the beautiful Bahamian environment surrounds you with serenity. Next, I'm going